Yeah, she's calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's at work to Safe Haven. Detecting 12, check that one out.
6 1 bullet, 2 1 start, take your shots.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody? Thanks. Anyone else close, might just zero something, let me know. Come first time by. 10-4. Step out with this.
2412.
Someone's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's at work to Safe Haven. Detecting 12, check that one out.
6 1 bullet, 2 1 start, take your shots.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody? Anyone else close, might just zero something, let me know.
33. Can you let a supervisor know that I have a express attached?
1830.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for hopping in. Appreciate it very much. What a crazy day. You wake up and there's this active shooter, there's that active shooter. It's just, oh my gosh, it's getting crazy. Said it a few days ago. It's almost like you get desensitized, normalized to it, you know. The sax rules. I love the saxophone. But there's some revealing details coming out with the I'm just calling it Austin. Go out and get some sun, TJ. You'll wake up in a better mood tomorrow, okay? Go get some sun today. I promise you'll wake up in a better mood tomorrow. It really works. Sunlight does wonders. But there's these revealings that are coming out with these affidavits that are being obtained from the local news station there in Memphis. We're starting to learn more details about what was going down and how it was going down and, who did what and when. So I'm going to go through that stuff with you guys. I saw that I was going to play the raw video of the court hearings. There's 3 of them today. I was going to play the raw videos, but I think Court TV actually did a episode on it, and I'd love to listen to that one just because I like being able to hear what the attorneys have to say in regards to this stuff. Speaking of an attorney, when we went through the capture and the TBI press conference, and they had an attorney on there, a local attorney that was on the news station before the TBI press conference, and he was saying a lot of crazy stuff. I made a little video about it. Just wondering if you guys thought he was petitioning to be Austin's attorney, but he didn't have one today. And so the judge entered a plea on his behalf for not guilty. So it's going to be kind of crazy how this thing turns out. I think this is something that is going to go to trial. I think we'll see, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the job of the prosecution, is to always get the plea deal, right? We learned that from Andrew D. Myers, having him on the show. It's about getting that plea deal. And I'm sorry, we'll go through Idaho 4 here soon. There's a lot more documents that came out. But when I said the big booms, I'm talking, and I said it back then too, I even made the little video about it, the coffee bet with Andrew D. Myers. I said there wasn't going to be any definitive links that showed that Brian Kohberger committed the crime. So I'm still waiting for those. Now, there's a lot of other stuff that's like, yeah, we knew, oh, this lines up, whatever. But I've said it the last couple of years. There wasn't going to be, never was going to be anything that definitively links him to that crime. Said it before. Hell, I was saying that after the PCA came out. Come on now. Also, I'm going to be covering a case later tonight. This one's wild. I don't know if anybody has heard it or not. This is Martha Nolan-O'Salad, and this happened just a couple days ago. I don't know if anybody has heard about this case, but we're going to get into it tonight. Screams at the docks. There was a bunch of screaming that was heard at the docks. I apologize if you guys can't hear me or if I'm cutting out. It seems like StreamYard's having more issues, so Let me know in chat if you can hear me okay. On my end, everything is like skipping really bad. So I don't know what is going on here. Hold on. What the hell is going on? Oh my lord. This is... I can't even control my StreamYard here. It's like froze. Can we please work today, StreamYard? That'd be really awesome. Be great. It'd be really great if StreamYard worked today. Okay, you guys can hear me. I mean, it's skipping for me. I'll just go ahead and talk. But so a couple days ago, it's just a few days ago that this took place. There was people had heard screaming going down at the boat dock there, and then the next day, her boyfriend, who is disrobed, finds his girlfriend laying there deceased. Now, when it comes to law enforcement claims no foul play. This isn't going to be the first time that we've ever covered something like this, and I'm sure it won't be the last. But we're going to get into that tonight about 7:45, 8 o'clock Central, and we'll be going through that case. Really crazy. Doesn't make sense. Smells like rich connections with corruption of law enforcement all mixed together in the same bowl. And we need to make sure that we can try and bring justice for Martha, just like all these victims, because that's what they want. They want people to not talk about it. They want people to not ask questions, to just accept it. I'm sorry. When we get into it tonight, I don't think that you will accept it either. All right. Now, if I can switch, is it going to let me? Okay. StreamYard is really bugging out here. Oh boy, this is crazy. Is it like working for you guys? Because it's so skippy on my end. What is going on? Now I disappeared. All right, give me one moment, you guys. I apologize that I have to keep backing out multiple times every time we do a show. Give me one moment, please. Okay, hopefully y'all can hear me now. All right, let me try this again. We will try this. This is so crazy, man. What the heck, dude? This is so crazy. All right, so I'm going to get into this article here real quick, if it will allow me to. If it'll allow me to here. All right, here we go. All right. WBBJ obtains affidavits revealing more details in the quadruple homicide case. WBBJ has obtained affidavits relating to Austin Drummond as well as the quadruple homicide in Lake County. According to the documents, the 4 victims were found passed away from apparent gunshot wounds off of Carrington Road in Tiptonville. The documents show that an investigation revealed Daria Sanders knowingly committed the offense of accessory after the fact. The documents also detail an attempt by Brandon Powell and Austin Drummond to deliver rugs into the penal facility in Lake County. All right. So it's got, here's all the people right here. Brandon Powell, Austin Drummond, Dara Sanders. Now, we saw the photos with the drone and the bag and all that other stuff. And we see all of the stuff that, you know, the Ciroc bottle, and you can imagine all the other substances that were getting floated around in that facility. And I hope to God that when it comes to this case, that they'll actually start looking into that facility, because as we were going through, I mean, there was no secret. The dude was taking selfies with all of this stuff all over the place. And when you take a selfie with a liquor bottle in your hand, in your arm, who knows what else? You know, if you are that bold where you can take a picture, everybody knows that you're in the facility, you take a selfie, click, you're able to upload it, and people can see it. There's some issues going on. Now, I hope, and this is what I hope, because they're looking to give this guy the DP, and I hope he gets it. He should get it, like ASAP. But I hope that he doesn't get some kind of leniency, because I have a feeling that he's going to help them when it comes to that facility. And I have a feeling that they're going to be a little lenient on him. And I don't like that feeling, because when we were hearing that lawyer during the news coverage before the press conference, how that lawyer was sitting here, like, I mean, it's one thing if you want to come up with all of the reasons, and trust me, that's why I love the justice system when it's performing like it should, right? Because it's supposed to be fair. Both sides. You're not guilty, you're presumed guilty until a conviction or a denial. But I just really don't hope that there's any kind of leniency when you got that same freaking lawyer on that news channel saying, well, this guy's got a heart. That just made me sick. It made me sick. Because how can you say, like, it's one thing to put all of the reasons, yes, it could be because of this, or he could, claim this, or I get it. But when you go overboard, and to me, that was overboard. When you go overboard and you go, this guy's got a heart. Listen, just because he left the baby on somebody's doorstep and knocked until somebody came to the door, as much as you think that means that he has a heart, what about when that baby was there while he killed those 4 other people? Can you imagine the screams that were taking place before anybody was killed? Can you imagine the cries and the pleas and before anybody was killed? So that's already going to make that little baby girl go wild, crying and doesn't know what's going on and can't be comforted. That baby was already going through traumatic stuff. 7 months old. And then that baby was there when you took out those 4 people with the loud sounds of an AR and a pistol. And this guy is supposed to have a heart. This lawyer was saying that this guy had a heart because he dropped the baby off on a doorstep 119 heat index. If the dude had a heart, he would have dropped the baby off before. But he didn't do that. No. The baby was there before everybody was killed. The baby was there while everybody was getting killed. And the baby was with him after. And do you think that he was consoling little Wesleyan, little 7-month-old precious little baby girl? You think he was consoling her on the way to go drop her off at that doorstep? Get the F out of here. I don't ever want to hear somebody claim that this dude had a heart. Period. So I think it would, my opinion, it was a little overboard when dudes, well, he's got a heart. You know what? You can kick rocks, dude. You can kick rocks. All right, let's click on this real quick. So these are the documents here. Let me zoom in a skosh. All right, so obviously it's going to be redacted. Let me, hold on a second. And thank you all for being here. Appreciate you very much. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. No, that's not the folder I want to go to. And we're going to get into this, and we'll check out that Court TV episode too. I'd love to hear what some of the lawyers have to say. And I tell you what, I don't want to hear one of them. I don't want to hear one of them say this dude's got a heart either. I really don't. It's a beautiful day. The sun's shining. The air's fresh. A little bit of precipitation in the morning. You know what? Don't ruin this day today. Don't ruin it. All right. So this is the affidavit named below after being sworn, state under oath, that on or about 7/30/25 in Lake County, Tennessee, Darius Denise Sanders committed the offensive violation of accessory after the fact. So we'll just skip some of the mumbo jumbo, okay? On Tuesday, July 29th, 2025, Braden Keith Williams, Courtney Rose, Adriana Williams, and James L. Wilson were all located deceased from a parent GSW. During the course of the investigation, it was determined that Darius Sanders did knowingly commit the offense of accessory after the fact after the commission of a felony with knowledge or reasonable ground to believe that Austin Drummond had committed the felony and with the intent to hinder the arrest, trial, and conviction of Drummond. I'm wondering if they're all going to be like, I thought I was going to be next. That's why I did it. It's going to be interesting to see what comes about from this too. Both of the accessories. And then I want to know what evidence was tampered. It's kind of like when we were talking about it during the manhunt. And before I was kind of talking about how people would have committed this crime if they were trying to get away with it, right? And, the buddy goes and takes the bloody clothes in a trash bag and dumps them off in the woods somewhere. And then poof, you're getting charged with tampering with evidence. But it could be as minimal as that, or it could be as maximum as he was actually there riding with and helped him do it. Now, at first, before we knew there was an AR involved, I was like, how does one person with a baby and a pistol able to get everybody? Normally, one would have got away at least, but now it makes sense, and you're not gonna outrun an AR, So on June, this is for Brandon Powell. So on June 18th, 2025, Brendan Diego Xavier Powell traveled to Lake County, Tennessee with Austin Drummond with the intention of delivering marijuana, tobacco, and an ear-piercing kit to an inmate at the local prison. Remember, he was caught. Remember when he was pulled over and he was caught with those items in his car? They're linking it up with that. Now, that's why they wouldn't come out and say that he actually at the time, because during that arrest, they weren't coming out and saying actually that it was connected to the homicide that Austin Drummond had committed. But now you're learning more stuff here. Austin Drummond identified Brendan Powell as the driver of the trail car assisting with this delivery. Look at that. You guys did all of this stuff for him and he already snitched on you. Isn't that some shit? Isn't that? They went to the lengths, they went to the lengths of helping. And the dude is already snitching on them. It's wild. Kind of crazy how that works, huh? The fairy tale shit. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't lying. On June 19th, 2025, at approximately 2:02 a.m., I attempted to stop the vehicle identified by Drummond. The vehicle fled at a high rate of speed, during which 6 to 7 objects were thrown from it. Fairy tale G's. Most of the objects were later recovered by law enforcement. Oh my God. The recovery included approximately 1 pound and 11.7 ounces of the Mary, 4 packages of tobacco, a drone case, 5 cell phones, rings, and an ear-piercing kit, and several mesh bags. An extensive investigation has since revealed that Brandon Diego Powell conspired with Austin Drummond and 3 other individuals to deliver contraband into the facility in Lake County, Tennessee. Law enforcement surveillance observed the entire process of the events above. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild? But he's snitching real quick. Oh, man. I bet you guys are going, shucks. All right. This is more. Let me see here. Oh, it's the same thing. Hold on. Okay, this is Austin Robert Drummond. So 3 aggravated kidnapping, 3 counts of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of it. Maybe they typoed that wrong because it should be 4 counts. Well, really, it should be 5 because he kidnapped the baby too. So I don't. See, this is where I wish I had a lawyer on here right now because I do not understand that. How is there not 5 counts of aggravated kidnapping? 4, possession of firearm during a dang felony. Did they really write that? Is that during a dang felony? Must be initial. I further state under oath that the essential facts constituting the offenses, the sources of my information, and the reasons why this information is believed and reliable are as follows. On Tuesday, July 29th, Braden Keith Williams, date of birth, Courtney Rose, date of birth, Adriana Williams, date of birth, and James M. Wilson, date of birth, were all located deceased from an apparent GSW on Carrington Road in Tiptonville, Lake County, Tennessee. On the same date, redacted, the daughter of Wilson and Williams was left in front of a residence in Dyer County, Tennessee. Austin Drummond did commit. Okay. Thank you, C. Taylor. The offense. I've never seen it like. I've never seen it like. It always kind of had it wrote out. I never seen dangerous be labeled. The term "dang" for dangerous. Normally they just shrink the font and it says danger. But I don't know how that's how they do it over there. Austin Drummond did not commit the offense of aggravated kidnapping. Austin Drummond did commit the offense of aggravated kidnapping of Wesley Wilson by false imprisonment which was committed to facilitate the commission of a felony or flight. Austin Drummond did commit the offense of possessing firearm during commission of a dangerous felony when he possessed a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony, being aggravated kidnapping. There's the signature. All right, let me see here. Now, Austin Robert Drummond, 1 first degree, 2 unlawful possession. So during the course of the investigation, it was determined that Austin Drummond did, with premeditation, knowingly and intentionally kill Courtney Rose with the use of a firearm. Austin Drummond did commit the offense of unlawful possession of a weapon by being in possession of a firearm after being convicted of a felony, being aggravated robbery in Madison County, Tennessee on 9/26/2014. All right. And then it was determined that Austin Drummond did, with premeditation, knowingly and intentionally kill Adriana Williams with the use of a firearm. Same thing as above. Also, it was determined that Austin Drummond did, with premeditation, knowingly and intentionally kill James Wilson with the use of a firearm. And it was determined that Austin Drummond did, with premeditation, knowingly and intentionally kill Braden Keith Williams with the use of a firearm. All right, so there's those documents right there. Now, there was 2 people that did actually turn in the Austin Drummond. Okay, funny how everyone else sat there for days. Right to you, like, it just goes to show you. I mean, that's why I said these people were like fairy tales, because you're seeing it right now with what's going on. If it wasn't a fairy tale, nothing would be said right now. It's just simple as that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when there's people like Austin had, and they're willing to help him out, because they didn't have nothing to, as far as we know, there's still going to be more stuff that comes out. I'm sure, we'll see what doesn't get released until whatever decision is made. But when you have people that are helping you out like that, and then you get caught based off your own stupidity because you're chilling in a pool house and somebody comes up and notices you, and then you go run out in the woods, and then some landscaping crew notices you also, because your own stupidity. You don't snitch on the people that protected you. It's just simple as that. So that's how you know that it was fairy tale G shit, because like those people, they weren't saying nothing. The investigators were finding that stuff out. Those people that were helping him out didn't snitch on him. They were protecting him. But isn't it kind of crazy? As soon as Austin gets those cuffs on, you saw how scared he was. As soon as he gets those cuffs on, that's how you know it's fairy tale. Because I can guarantee you, if there's people out there, and how many people in chat? I'm sure you'll agree. If there's people out there that are willing to assist you, knowing the ramifications of what they have to face, you return the favor. Look, you're the one that made the mistake. So the fact that you're snitching on your friends that didn't snitch on you and actually took on time to serve for you, and you just go, that shows you all that shows you all you need to see. And you're going to see how eventful his life is going to be when it comes to his new home. Because the stuff that he was getting away with at the other one, and the little clout that he was getting because he had people on the outside flying shit in and dropping it off. Then you had a warden that was just chilling up there watching TV, not even worried about what was going on in his facility. You may have been cool. You may have been a cool guy then. But I can tell you right now where you're going, and it ain't going to be so comfy. And then you add on top of the fact that you didn't even need to snitch, bro, because you're the one that committed the crime. You're the one that was in the facility for your friend to even go, hey, we should fly shit in there. Because if you weren't even in that facility, do you see where I'm getting at this? So the fact that you're going to be willing to snitch on your friends when all of this is your doing, sir, that's not going to go very far where you're going. The fairy tale shit ended when you got caught. Congratulations. Because when you want to pretend like it, sometimes you actually have to face it. You can get away with it in a little small ass town. You can go run amok and pretend, but then when it comes down to it, yeah, enjoy it. I hope you know you're lit, bro. I hope you know you're lit. All right, I'm going to share this with you guys. These are, if StreamYard will allow it, these are, this is the one interview from the other guy with the pool house. I don't know if it's going to work. Come on. And then we're going to watch these court hearings here. So let me see here. Okay, so this is the guy that owned the pool house. So what happened, and thank you all for being here. So what happened is, okay, at first we know that, StreamYard, what are you doing? I'm sorry. This is so unprofessional. What are we doing, StreamYard? I don't understand. Okay, is it working? I hope it's working. Okay, it was bugging on my end. All right, so okay, something happened because the whole screen flashed with StreamYard. Let me see, am I still? Oh, come on, StreamYard. This is crazy, man. 2 frickin' months of this. Sorry, everything's froze on StreamYard. I might actually have to back out again. Something just happened. Okay, my browser can't access. All right, let's try this again. I apologize, everybody. I know is it? Okay, there we go. Oh boy. This is 2 months. I apologize, you guys. I apologize. Now it's bugging out. The other alternative program is like 45 freaking bucks a month, and I'm just with what I pay for StreamYard. StreamYard is depending on what plan you have, because if you don't want the free one with all the watermarks and the ducks all over the screen, which I try and, that's why I do pay for like YouTube Premium, and I pay for this stuff because I want you guys to be able to, you don't have to see all these ducks and StreamYard all over the place. And that's already like 50 to 90 bucks depending on what plan you want to go with, and then the other one's like 45 bucks, and it's just, as much as I want to use the other program, it's like I don't want to pay that much damn money for it. It's ridiculous. Like with the amount of money that we pay for this, us content creators, for StreamYard, if you're not using the free plan, it's ridiculous. It should be working flawlessly. You're a little bit bugs here and there. We get technology, but for 2 months straight, while there's update after update after update after update, there's no bugs getting fixed. And so I do apologize. For that. I just, every day I go in thinking and hoping that maybe today is the day that it actually works. Good faith. I've been a StreamYard customer for over 3 years now that we've done the show, and I'm a loyal person, sometimes to a fault. I'm a loyal person, so I'm just hoping that the next day it'll actually change, so I apologize. All right, let's get into this now. This was the neighbor that this was a service worker that showed up for the owner of the house. Now, what happened is we saw the photos where Austin was staying in the pool house. He used some cushions, made a makeshift bed in a little closet. And so what happened is the service worker got there and noticed that something was wrong, or felt it. And then all of a sudden he witnessed Austin come walking from inside the pool house to outside. Now, what's crazy is Austin had a gun with him. He actually pointed it at the service worker, but then ran off into the woods. So while he was running into the woods and then he was walking to get away, that's when the other guy saw him and said, wait a minute, what is going on? Really wild stuff. But it was, if you think about it, like, it was a pretty good idea. I'll give him that. Like that pool house, that's wild. I've never seen that pool house. I would expect that pool house to be like in Florida or something, like it's out crazy. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't get cold in Tennessee, Memphis. I don't know. But that pool house was pretty wild. So I have to give him credit. Nobody's going to be flying over you, seeing you at night. The pool, I'm sure it was being used, but the closet, you're laying in a closet. I have to give him props for that. Like, it was a good spot, because that right there is going to protect you from any kind of air radar or any kind of heat signature technology. And then also you're right next to the woods, so you can literally slip in and slip out, and you get in your closet and recharge your stuff. And I give him props for that. But man, the fact that, like, I want to know, like, what were you doing? Like, because obviously the guy wasn't coming to help at like 4 a.m. So to me, I would have had my alarm set. I would have got up like an hour before sunrise, and then I go figure out, before anybody in the house wakes up, before stuff starts moving, I would go figure out a spot or whatever. If I wasn't even, I mean, because he could have stayed in the freaking closet if he wanted to. So I'm kind of curious, like, how did that happen? Like, did he hear something and he was dumb enough to get out and walk and see what was going on? Or I don't know. It just, that part don't make sense. But check this out. So this guy actually saw him first. So when it comes to, you know, what we heard at the press conference about how they need to figure out, you know, who did this and they need to vet this and all this other stuff. It should be as simple as you split it between two people, this guy and the other guy. I think he was a house painter, my bad. This guy and the other guy, you split it. You know, they both called. It's on record. You showed up because both of them called. So it shouldn't be too hard to split it between both of them. Hopefully they both get a split of that. But here's the service worker that first ran to him at the pool house, which then made him go into the woods.
A manhunt for an accused mass murderer is over. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Daryl Green.
And I'm Darcy Thomas. Fox 13 was the only Memphis station with the reporter live in Jackson, Tennessee this morning as U.S. Marshals captured Austin Drummond in a wooded neighborhood.
Drummond is accused of killing 4 members of a family and abandoning an infant in Dyer County 1 week ago today. Fox 13 continues our live team coverage tonight. We begin with Fox 13 Sheila O'Connor. She took Good Morning Memphis viewers along as she followed investigators during the final hours of the search and the news of Drummond's capture.
Now she's going to walk you through the moments that agents zeroed in on Drummond. She also speaks to a man who spotted him and called 911. This is an interview that you will only see on Fox 13.
This Tuesday morning was anything but normal for John Stickoner.
Walked back down to the greenhouse and the back door was wide open. I don't leave it open.
Stickoner does maintenance work for the people who...
See what? That right there. That right there. The door was wide open and he never leaves it open. When I play Fortnite, okay? Listen. When I play Fortnite, I shut the door behind me. Okay? What the hell is this dude leaving the door wide open? You don't think somebody's going to wake up and go, hey, why is that door open? Let me go in there and look. Maybe an animal got in there or something. But even when I'm playing Fortnite, I'm shutting the door behind me. What? Oh, it's so bad. Like, he did one good... I got to give him props for one thing. Using the pool house. Other than that, it's just fumbaloo after fumbaloo.
Who own this home on Wynwood Drive in Jackson. His friends and neighbors have been on high alert since accused killer Austin Drummond was seen Sunday night at a church 1 mile from the neighborhood.
I was doing a check because I knew he was so close, just making sure there wasn't no glass broke on the windows, doors kicked in, anything like that.
This wooded area behind me is where Austin Drummond was captured. The man who called 911 told me as soon as he got off the phone with police, they were here by this home within minutes.
It caught me off guard. Like there wouldn't be anybody else walking down in there, that early in the morning or actually any time of the day.
In a couple of agent cars. I was the only Memphis reporter in Jackson as the search for Drummond intensified.
Right. I was surprised. I was like, you got all these news crews and there was only one news crew out there. It was wild. It was like, what the heck? That's why I wished I would have been able to go on location down there because I would have freaking, come on now. I would have went right up to where I couldn't even cross that tape no more. and kind of go right up to it, going from this to that, to that, to that. Come on now. I was surprised. Crazy.
Agents started the morning searching the woods by Cornerstone Community Church, the last place Drummond was seen. By 8:30 in the morning, agents sped away from the church. Oh. Jackson police officers blocked the entrance to several neighborhoods armed with what appeared to be assault rifles. Stickoner says he spotted Drummond around 9 a.m. and he was arrested by 9:15.
As soon as they got here, 4 or 5 of them pulled up and instantly I told them where they were or where I seen them and they took off down into the ravine.
What did he look like when you saw him?
I didn't get that close to him. All I saw was him walking down the ravine.
Was he armed?
I didn't see anything in his hands.
Stick Honor and so many in Jackson and across.
Okay, I saw an interview where he said he pointed a gun at him. He literally said that he came out, I startled him, I spooked him. He spooked me. He came towards me, pointed the gun at me. I fell down and then ran off. And he ran away from me. What? Wait a minute. What?
West Tennessee, now thankful a dangerous.
Hold on. Let me go through this. Let me go through this one more time because I'm going to have to find it. It's on my Facebook somewhere. I know I watched it. He literally said that. Hold on.
But normal for John Stick Honor.
Walked back down to the greenhouse and the back door was wide open. I don't leave it open.
Stick Honor does maintenance work for the people who own this home on Wynwood Drive in Jackson. His friends and neighbors have been on high alert since accused killer Austin Drummond was seen Sunday.
I was doing a check because I knew he was so close, just making sure there wasn't no glass broke on the windows, doors kicked in, anything like that.
This wooded area behind me is minutes.
It caught me off guard. Like there wouldn't be anybody else walking down in there, that early in the morning.
That's what we heard from the painter guy, the guy that we only knew about at first. I'm confused.
Or actually any time of the day.
In a couple of agent cars. I was the only Memphis reporter in Jackson as the search for Drummond with what appeared to be assault rifles. Stick Honor says he spotted Drummond around 9 a.m. and he was arrested by 9:15.
As soon as they got here, 4 or 5 of them pulled up and instantly I told them where they were or where I seen them and they took off down into the ravine.
What did he look like when you saw him?
I didn't get that close to him. All I saw was him walking down the ravine.
Was he?
What? Hold on. Let me share this real quick to Facebook. If you're not following me, I'll drop the link here in a second. I just shared the official obituary. Here, let me share that photo with you guys real quick. There's that. What? Hold on. Hold on a minute. That I don't know, something isn't. Oh, hold on a second. Whoa, I just shared this to Facebook too. WREG investigators uncovered new audio that has suspected mass murderer Austin Drummond defending himself as to why he had a weapon behind bars and used it in a fight years before he was arrested for the murder. Whoa, this just dropped here. Let me share my link. This just came out. Hold on one second. Hold on one moment. I apologize. It's being really buggy here. Here's my link for Facebook where I'm sharing everything here. Hold on one second. This is where I'm sharing everything. Okay, now let me click on this. Share. Is it not sharing? Oh, stream here. Come on. All right, right here. Let me see here. So WREG investigators uncovered new audio that has suspected mass murderer Austin Drummond defending himself as to why he had a weapon behind bars and used it in a fight years before he was arrested for the murder of 4 people last week. The audio recorded on July 23rd, 2020, when Austin Drummond went before the Tennessee Board of Parole. He'd been serving a 13-year sentence at a state prison in Lake County. Drummond's disciplinary infractions from the previous year were discussed during the hearing. Looks like you have some pending charges. Those haven't been handled yet. Wait, it says obtained new audio, but if they're referring to the parole hearing, we already had that and put it out. So let me see here. Okay, looks like you've had about 27 incidents total. 7 of them Class A's, 7 Class B's. We've had threats, deadly weapons, violation of state law, threats, and etc. Does that sound right? The parole board member asked. Yes, sir. The assault and deadly weapon, it came after it was self-defense. Yeah, we heard that already. We already heard that already. My bad. I thought it said obtaining and breaking audio. Must be some kind of fake thing. All right, now this is some family members outside the court hearing today. So let me see here. Let me go to that real quick. There was actually one that was longer than that. 1 second. I don't know where it's at. I posted on my Facebook, but it didn't show up. All right, that one's only 41. It was like 3-4 minutes. Takes you. Okay. Oh, that sucks, because it was no, it must not have worked. Let's see, caretaker, Drummond. Okay, here's this right here. This is this article. Okay, so check this out real quick. Oh. I'm trying to find that. That one. I gotta wait for this stupid commercial to play. All right, come on. All right, here we go.
The pool house, I sensed something was off, and that's when I encountered the.
Okay, so who encountered who here? Because this guy said that he went back there and the door was open. Now listen to this guy.
As I came up to the pool house, I sensed something was off, and that's when I encountered the suspect.
New tonight, a story you'll see only on Fox 13. We hear from the man who found an accused mass murderer in his hiding place. And Fox 13 will take you inside. Thank you for being with us at 5. I'm Daryl Green.
And I'm Darcy Thomas. Austin Drummond is due in court tomorrow morning to face 4 counts of murder and other charges. But tonight, Fox 13 takes you exclusively inside of the pool house where the accused killer hid during this week-long search.
Fox 13's Martin Staunton is live in Jackson, Tennessee again tonight. Martin, you talked to the man who takes care of that property, and he says he's the one who found Drummond.
Me too,
Daryl, that man tells Fox 13 that he was just following his morning routine when he went to the pool house. It's located on a 9-acre estate on this road in an upscale neighborhood in Jackson. And that man says that's when he found himself face to face with Austin Drummond.
Came out from the inside of the pool house where he had apparently been hiding out. and had either a rifle or a shotgun, and he pointed that at me. He yelled and pointed that at me.
Due to Drummond's alleged gang.
Okay, so this is the guy that said that he pointed the weapon at him. So there's 3 people now? 3 people now? Well, Tia, I put out a video a few days ago, and here, let me share that real quick, because we're going to go into it at some point. I might go into it in this show, but I might have to wait because we're going to be doing this show tonight. Screams at the docks. No foul play, but found passed away. And it just smells like rich connection, corruption with law enforcement. And we need to highlight and get some justice for Martha. It just happened a couple days ago. I don't know if any of you have heard about it. Don't know if any of you, we're going to be doing that show tonight, 7:45, 8 o'clock Central. But when it comes to Kaitlyn, I did this video a couple days ago. If you go to my channel, I'll share the link to it. It's this one right here, and I break it down with visuals. I'm wondering if Kaitlyn was the one that he was giving the hand signal to. This right here. So as we're breaking it down, and I'm using Microsoft Paint to kind of break it all down, it makes me wonder if Kaitlyn was the one that was standing all the way back there. It makes me wonder if that was Kaitlyn. So if you haven't seen that video, click on that video, check it out, drop a comment, let me know what you think. We're going to be going into that more. I did a bunch of zooms on it, and we're going to be trying to dig into it and really see, like, you know, we're going to try and figure out, like, what the heck exactly was going on. There's obviously something, but there's a lot more work to do with that one. So check that one out if you haven't yet. But when it comes to this guy right here, it's making me wonder, okay, I thought the other guy was the service worker that was going to check the pool house, because I seen him on another interview. You know, after he was captured, we just saw the one guy that initially we heard about. Then later on, we started to find out, oh, there was actually a guy at the pool house that ran into him. And then that was the same guy that we saw first, the older gentleman. Now the gentleman that's right here that doesn't want to be on camera, which totally get it. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but he doesn't want to be on camera. But then he's the only one that actually had a weapon pointed at him. And so maybe that's what law enforcement meant at the press conference, was they really needed to vet, like, who really saw what and who, because I don't know, it's kind of confusing to me. But this is the guy that says that Austin actually pointed the weapon at him and he fell down and ran away.
As I came up to the pool house, I sensed something was off, and that's when I encountered the suspect.
New tonight, a story you'll see only on Fox 13. We hear from the man who found an accused mass murderer in his hiding place. And Fox 13 will take you inside. Thank you for being with us at 5. I'm Daryl Green.
And I'm Darcy Thomas. Austin Drummond is due in court tomorrow morning to face 4 counts of murder and other charges. But tonight, Fox 13 takes you exclusively inside of the pool house where the accused killer hid during this week-long search.
Fox 13's Martin Staunton is live in Jackson, Tennessee again tonight. Martin, you talked to the man who takes care of that property, and he says he's the one who found Drummond.
Daryl, that man tells Fox 13 that he was just following his morning routine when he went to the pool house. It's located on a 9-acre estate on this road in an upscale neighborhood in Jackson. And that man says That's when he found himself face to face with Austin Drummond.
Came out from the inside of the pool house where he had apparently been hiding out, and had either a rifle or a shotgun, and he
I don't know.
Pointed that at me. He yelled and pointed that at me.
Due to Drummond's alleged gang affiliation, this man asked us not to show his face or share his name, but he is sharing what happened as he stared down the barrel of a rifle Tuesday morning with an accused murderer's finger on the trigger.
He ran toward me at first, which really made me take off. And he had the gun, so I felt like I could get, away from him if he didn't shoot. But I ran through the woods into the middle of Pleasant Plains and flagged someone down, and used their emergency phone to call 911 from there.
He says before finding Drummond, he was aware of the manhunt and just how dangerous investigators say Drummond is. He says he thanks God he lived to tell the story.
I do feel blessed. Very blessed is the word that I can, because he could have easily, he had two guns right there loaded. Just he and I back here, he could have killed me. And I can't thank God enough for making it.
He adds, there's a singular sense of dignity he will now carry, knowing he helped in the capture of a man accused of the murders of 4 people.
I feel super blessed myself from surviving that, but my heart goes out to the families that are all, it's a terrible, tragic thing, and I'm so glad for the people that got him into custody.
Okay, so...
And still ahead at 6, we're going to take an exclusive look at just how Austin Drummond was living, and you're going to have to see it to believe it. That's coming up in about an hour.
Yeah, we already saw the photos. And so that's what doesn't make sense to me now. Is like, well, wait a minute. So the story is, and this is the story that has been the story, it's just... like you listen to the older guy and you listen to this guy and you're like, well, who was there? You both saw him once, didn't see weapons. This guy said he had 2 weapons loaded. He actually pointed it at him. The other guy's like, I don't know. I didn't see any weapon. Now we know about the guy that was there working on one of the houses and saw him walking in the woods and called. That's the painter. But when it comes to these 2 guys, it's like, wait a minute. That's weird. All right, this is District Attorney Danny Goodman, and he's saying that the death penalty is being sought in Boston. One second. It's bugging. Ah, Lord, this is so distracting all the time. All right. Shared this on Facebook as well. This is the district attorney here about the death penalty.
Okay, just for TV purposes, if you can say and spell first and last name and time.
Danny Goodman, DANNY-GOODMAN, District Attorney General.
Perfect. Mr. Goodman, first kind of just an overview for this morning's hearing. You also stated that the state does plan to pursue the death penalty in this case?
Yes, at this time we do.
What kind of is all the decision making that goes behind deciding to pursue charges such severe?
Well, there are aggravating factors in Tennessee. We have to look at those statutory factors. And I think that he does meet the ones that we have to have. So we're going to seek the death penalty.
And then are you obviously satisfied with the judge's decision to revoke the bond?
He didn't actually revoke the bond. That's a petition that we have filed to be heard in circuit court. That will be done later this month. But he's actually just holding him without bond.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was the state's request.
So the August 14th date, is that going to be the bond hearing to decide whether or not it gets revoked?
No, the August 14th date is here in general sessions. The petition we have filed is in circuit court for the revocation.
Gotcha. How complicated can this case become, knowing this is now multiple jurisdictions involved? I mean, and then multiple agencies involved too.
Yeah, it is going to be more complicated because of that. Fortunately, I am the district attorney for 2 of the counties that it occurred in. So that's going to leave just one other county with District Attorney Jody Pickens. He and I have already talked, and we're going to work together with those.
Anything else you want to provide?
I don't think so.
All right. It is so buggy, man. My Lord, it is so buggy. Give me 1 second. All right, let me try this again. This is nonstop. All right, here's the 4-minute clip. Here it is. Here's the 4-minute clip. I did share it on my Facebook. 1 second. I'm sorry, you guys. It is being so freaking buggy right now, and it's hard for me to even navigate StreamYard to like show stuff. Okay. It just got up. All right, here we go. This is the 4-minute clip I was talking about with the family members after the court hearing. And then we're going to be getting into the video of the court hearings here in a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, you don't really know what to say about it. It's got a horrible situation. We talk to police. We don't even really know what to say.
Sorry. It looks like StreamYard's bugging. Give me 1 second. Let me just wait until it wants to catch up here. Man, you got to have patience like a MF when it comes to dealing with this. Wild. All right, here we go. It looks like it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, you don't really know what to say about it. It's got a horrible situation. We talk to police. We don't even really know what to say. You know, it's we just let the police do. We've been very impressed from the beginning with how this has been handled, and it's just a really bad situation that we're in here, and it's just we know that we're going to get justice for our kids,
Absolutely.
for this whole family. So we're just trying to let justice take its course. And I don't really know what else to say.
Thank y'all.
That audio.
Ma'am, what is your name, please?
This is Kim Hamill. This is Matthew's mother.
I apologize for that audio. What the hell kind of audio is that? Yo, I mean, I take footage myself and I don't what is going on with that microphone, man?
Can you show us your picture you have?
Blur her face out.
Please.
Yes. Is it Hamill, Hammel?
Hamil.
H8.
That's your first name, H-A-M-I-L.
Okay. Ms. Hamill, did you want to say anything with the judge's grant of, him being held without bond?
We're happy. We're happy that he doesn't have a bond. He doesn't need a bond. He's out on bond now. So why give him another bond? So we're very happy that he is not going to be making his bond and walk it out. None of them are.
Right. How could you give this person a bond to walk out if he was just on bond and committed the crime? Oh, so more can happen? The dude already admitted that he was going to take out jury members before he was bonded out last time. I just, what the hell is going on? What is going on?
They all deserve to pay for this. And why let him out? He's already out. So what's the point of letting him back out? He's already proven that he does stuff like this. So don't give him the opportunity to take somebody else's family.
Their whole family.
Because that's what I think people don't understand. He took them all.
That is a great point, Sammy G. That is a great point. Very great point. That, yeah, I did notice that in the documents too, now that you bring it up. Yeah, that's a really good point. Thank you. Come on, StreamYard. Are we going to do this little dance all freaking year?
It's not just the loss of our son.
I know.
It's the loss of our daughter-in-law, of Braden, of everybody, of Courtney. It's a whole family gone. It's unbelievable. So
no, it's a good.
We're going to be here every chance we get. We're going to be right here for our son because he cannot be here. They love their daughter.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be here, won't we?
Yes, we'll be here.
How would you like the community to remember your loved ones?
Matthew was a good father.
He was a good boy.
He was a good brother. He was a damn good son.
Aww.
And they loved their baby.
Absolutely.
They loved their baby. The whole family loved each other. That's the thing that people were forgetting.
Yeah.
We all loved each other, and nobody. It's just a really bad situation. We want everybody to remember Matthew. Everybody knows Matthew. Matthew grew up right there on that hill, running those streets of our county.
Yeah.
Never been in no trouble, no nothing. And they need to keep that in mind and stop focusing so much on the morbid aspect of it. Because Matthew has siblings that are young that can Google all this. And
internet's forever.
Exactly. And people need to understand that there's children, there's minors involved in this. And that as a family, we're just broken. Right?
Yes.
I just don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Poor family.
So
who's caring for the little girl right now?
Poor family.
She's in protective custody.
Okay.
And if you could, could you
Please spell your
state
name
name
again.
Her name is Kim Hamill, Hamil.
Thank you.
Her name is Hamill, Hamil, and yours.
I'm Matthew Wilson, or Matt Wilson is my name. I'm Matthew's daddy. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys so much.
That's so sad. Shared that too. Give me 1 second. I thought there was something else I wanted to share before we get into the court hearing video, and that'll be from Court TV. We're gonna check that one out from Court TV. Come on, StreamYard. This is freaking crazy. This is so crazy. Give me one moment. All right. Let me see here. All right. I'm going to switch to, this is the video from Court TV. I was going to watch the raw video of the court hearings. It is. It's very sad. Running the streets in the rural areas like running the fields. Oh my gosh! In my world, running the streets has a. Yeah, that's. I mean, you're not wrong, Jersey lady. I think that's in most parts of the country too. You know. I mean, but who knows? Run the streets could mean that you're just always out and about too. So it has different meaning. It just, I suppose, it depends on where at. The way I understand it is a bond cannot be considered when the state is asking for. I would hope not. I would hope not. But that was a great comment. That was a great comment, Sammy G. It would make more sense to me that if the Ford knew he was a snitch, they were going to go tell him. But see, yeah, it's like, why did they stand up for him? You know what I mean? Like, why would they literally, like, because if somebody came to me and, like, I wasn't going to help or something, I'd be like, dude, get the F away from me. I don't know. We'll see what's happening. Do you think that the co-conspirators or the accessories are going to say that they were afraid for their life and that's why they participated? It should have never happened. None of this stuff should have happened. You know, because even with like the stuff, and I know there's people discussing it, and I'm not gonna. You know, there's people discussing about how substances were the reason for the crime, and you know, going, and you know what, maybe there was. Okay, maybe there was substances. I was hearing something different. I was hearing from the beginning that they already snitched on him, and they were gonna further go down what they had already snitched on him, and it had to do with the murder charge. And so, what, you know, with the substance, listen, maybe they were. It doesn't give anybody any right to do what he did to those people, regardless of whatever there might have been going on or whatever. It doesn't justify anything. And so I think the more that, because look, it could have happened. I mean, look what he was involved with. I don't know their personal lives, you know, the victims, and I'm not trying to dig into it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, maybe there was. It doesn't matter because they still didn't deserve this. And so, as much as people want to discuss that angle, to me, it's kind of like you're victimizing the victims a little bit more, in my opinion, because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Austin committed this crime. Nothing like that should have ever, you know, it just, I don't know. I just, there's certain things that, even though they are plausible, I'm just not going to discuss. Just out of respect for the victims. I heard a case of a man and a lemon. I'm wondering if Kaitlyn was helping. Like I said, I did that video. Put out the video in the video section a couple of days ago where I broke it down with visuals, and we're going to get into it. I don't think that we will tonight. We might be able to for a little bit. We'll see. We're going to be doing another show here at 7:45, 8 o'clock Central here in a little bit, about 2 hours from now, and we're going to be going over this case, Martha Nolan-O'Salad. No foul play, but found passed away. There was a bunch of screaming at the boat docks. And then the next morning, her boyfriend finds her passed away laying on the boat, and there's no foul play. Fishy, fishy, fishy. And it's not the first one we've ever come across. The thing is this just happened a couple days ago, and there's not really anybody talking about it, and we need to bring some awareness to Martha and get some justice for her, because I have a feeling that there's some connections, and there's connections with law enforcement and corruption, and we're gonna start exposing that and bring justice for Martha. All right, here's this video. This is the court TV video, and they have some guests on there, and I imagine that there's going to be some kind of lawyers, and I know Vinny's a lawyer too, but they got some people at the end to discuss it. And so this is the reason why we're watching this one. I'd rather watch the raw one, but I like having the legal stuff at the end of it, and so we're gonna check that out too. Thank you all for being here. Again, I apologize for the bugginess of StreamYard. I'm really trying everything I can do, and I'm just hoping every time I do the next show that maybe miraculously it'll all be fixed like it's supposed to. Customer service, 2 months is not customer service. So I really, 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 really appreciate you guys and your patience and hanging out regardless of any of the bugs that are going on currently. So thank you so much. Oh, praise God.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Matt Johnson in this afternoon for Julia Janae. Thanks for being with us. We begin this hour with breaking news in Tennessee, where the main suspect in the quadruple murder made his first court appearance today, just moments ago. We're just now getting in that feed from the court. Austin Drummond, right here, faces 4 counts of first-degree murder after he was arrested on Tuesday after a week-long manhunt. The bodies of these 4 victims were found in a wooded area in Lake County, Tennessee. They were identified as 20-year-old Adrian Williams, 21-year-old James Wilson, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, and 15-year-old Braden Williams. An abandoned baby was also found safe, approximately 45 minutes away from the scene. Let's get you in now for the start of this hearing.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. Mr. Drummond, we are here this morning to arraign you on these charges. It's my responsibility to notify you of them and what you were charged with. The first charge this morning that you have before the court is 1 count of first-degree murder. It's alleged that on 29th of July, Mr. Braden Williams was located deceased from apparent gunshot wounds on Carrington Road in Tiptonville in Lake County, Tennessee. In the course of the investigation, it was determined that Mr. Drummond did with premeditation knowingly and intentionally kill Mr. Braden Keith Williams with the use of a firearm. It's alleged he did commit this offense also while being in possession of a firearm after being convicted of a felony, being aggravated robbery in Madison County, Tennessee. He has 1 count, therefore, first-degree murder and unlawful possession of a firearm. Second charge you have, sir, is first-degree murder and 1 other count of unlawful possession of a firearm. It's alleged during the course of investigation that a James Wilson was located deceased from apparent gunshot wounds in Lake County, Tennessee on Carrington Road. It was determined that you with premeditation knowingly and intentionally killed Mr. Wilson with the use of a firearm. It's also alleged, based on the same facts or circumstances, that you are a convicted felon out of Madison County. In addition to that, sir, you also have 1 count of first-degree murder and unlawful possession of a weapon. It's alleged that during the course of investigation, officers determined that Mr. Drummond, with premeditation, knowingly and intentionally killed Miss Adriana Williams in Lake County, Tennessee, on Carrington Road. She was discovered from an apparent gunshot wound, deceased. In addition to that, he also is a convicted felon out of Madison County, Tennessee. You also, sir, have 1 count of first-degree murder and additional unlawful possession of a weapon. It's alleged during the course of the investigation, officers determined that you did with premeditation knowingly, intentionally kill Miss Courtney Rose with the use of a firearm. She was discovered deceased from apparent gunshot wounds on Carrington Road in Lake County, Tennessee. It's alleged, in addition to that, sir, as previously stated, you are a convicted felon allegedly from the county of Madison in Tennessee. It's just that we have been in charge. I don't have the Sorry about that, Mr. Drummond. In addition to that, finally, he has one count of aggravated kidnapping and a possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. It's alleged that all of the victims in the count in the case that previously were mentioned were located deceased from apparent gunshot wounds on the same date. A minor child with the date of birth 12/12/2024 with the initials WW was discovered left in the front of a residence in Dyer County, Tennessee. States that Mr. Drummond committed the offense of aggravated kidnapping by false imprisonment, which was committed to facilitate the commission of a felony or flight. It's alleged he committed this offense also possessing a firearm during the commission of said dangerous felony. When he possessed a firearm, he therefore has those counts. General Goodman, is the state moving forward with felony charges in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Mr. Drummond, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you at this time on your behalf, being that you do not have counsel appointed or retained to represent you. Are you going to be able to hire an attorney, sir, to represent you, or will you need me to ask you questions about your finances to appoint you an attorney?
I'm not going to be able to hire an attorney.
Okay. Sir, if you could, to the best of your ability, please raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give is true, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down, sir. Mr. Drummond, prior to being taken in on these charges, sir, were you working anywhere?
I have a business, decided to run business, kids parties, restaurant shows, decorations, stuff like that.
So you were self-employed, is that correct?
Hold on, let me turn up the closed caption here.
The testimony you are about to give is true, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down, sir. Mr. Drummond, prior to being taken in on these charges, sir, were you working anywhere?
I have a business, decided to run business, kids parties, restaurant shows, decorations, stuff like that.
So you were self-employed, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is what I'm going to ask you, sir. Obviously, that may vary depending on how much business you generate monthly. If you could estimate for me what your monthly income would be from that business.
It varied, but it was around $4,000 to $6,000 a month.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Right.
I was just starting up a lot of money to run right back in to invest in it.
When did you start the business, sir?
I started in February. I believe I started operations just a month or two ago.
Just a month or two ago? Okay. Sir, let me ask you, do you own a home? Do you own a vehicle? I'm sorry?
I do. It's cities right now.
Okay. Can you tell me the make and model of the vehicle, sir?
And Cali Lake Creek.
Okay. You recall how much you paid for that vehicle?
$12,000.
Okay. Are you still, are you making payments on the vehicle?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have a checking or savings account, sir?
Yes.
Do you know roughly at this moment how much is in that checking or savings account?
$500.
Gerald, I think due to the sort of uncertainty of his business, I think that based on that and the fact he doesn't own much personal property, I think he does qualify as indigent for appointment to counsel. I have reached out previously to Mr. Brian Huffman out of Covington, and he has told me he is willing to take the appointment in this case. So what I'm going to do is appoint Mr. Brian Huffman to represent Mr. Drummond in this case. Mr. Drummond, Mr. Brian Huffman is an attorney in Covington, Tennessee. He is going to be appointed in this case to represent you, sir. We're going to get his contact information to you, and also we're going to get his information for where to look, for where to contact him and locate him and be able to discuss your case with him. We'll be happy to get that to you, and we're going to send you his files and we're going to send your files to his office for him to review that. Okay. Gerald, does the state wish to be heard on bond at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this time, the state intends to seek the death penalty. This is a capital case. We're asking that he be held without bond.
In addition to that, he has a bond out of circuit court. We have filed motions to revoke those bonds. That will be heard later in the month of August in circuit court.
Mr. Drummond, what I'm going to do before I make a position on bond, I'm going to ask you some questions, sir. And if this information is not correct, sir, please just tell me if it is not, okay? Can you still hear me okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 16 O'Neill Oakway, Apartment E in Jackson. Is that a good address for you, sir?
Jackson, Tennessee, 3801.
Okay. How long have you lived at that address, sir?
5400 or 16 O'Neill.
I'll make it easier. How long have you lived in the city of Jackson?
Since I was released in September of last year.
Okay. Before you were incarcerated on your previous charge, where were you living at? Okay, so for the majority of your life, have you lived in Jackson, Tennessee?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any family in Lake County, Tennessee?
Yes.
I'm not going to ask him questions about whether he's a prior convicted felon. I obviously don't want him to incriminate himself for that purpose. Folks, in the state of Tennessee, bond is a guaranteed right, with the exception of one incident when it is a capital offense and when the proof is evident or is great. Based on the affidavits I've read here today, it does appear that for purposes of bond, in addition to not only what the statute says, but first and foremost, that it's the court's responsibility to take into consideration the safety posed to the community. The court finds that the defendant will be held without bond, and he'll be remanded into the custody of the Lake County Sheriff's Department, pending all appearances and hearings in this matter.
Let me address one other issue.
Yes, sir.
Now, the state is also requesting a restraining order, not just as a condition of bond, but as a restraining order besides that. And that would be for the family of victims, Courtney Rose, Adriana Williams, Braden Williams, and Jane.
Mr. Drummond, let me go over with you, sir, what the general has said.
I'm sorry, and also the minor child, WW, who was the minor child.
Yes, sir. I was going to include that, General, but I appreciate you mentioning that.
Okay, it looks like my camera just quit working, so I apologize about that. We'll finish this part up. Camera's not working for some reason now.
Mr. Drummond, what I'm going to do is, this is something that obviously you do not have this in front of you at the moment. I'm going to be sending to you in a moment through one of our deputies to the jail. We're going to be sending you a form called Notice of Bond Conditions. What that's going to tell you is that you have bond conditions that you must follow. Obviously, if you are incarcerated, you will not be out on bond. But if you were to be granted bond at a later date, then these bond conditions would apply. But your bond conditions are you have no contact with any of the family members of the victims in this matter, the alleged victims in this matter, Ms. Courtney Rose, Ms. Adriana Williams, Braden Williams, and Matthew Wilson. In addition to that, sir, you cannot possess a firearm under any circumstances, and you cannot have any contact as well with the minor child that's alleged to be involved in this incident. The court is also going to put a condition down that you must keep in contact with your attorney, Mr. Brian Huffman. In addition to that, sir, the court is going to issue restraining orders separate from your bond conditions that state you must not have any contact with these victims at all throughout the entire cause of action.
What is
the court is going to send those over to you. You will be served a copy of those. I told Mr. Huffman I did not discuss the possibility. I wanted to wait until he's officially appointed. If your office would like for me to go ahead and set another appearance date before the preliminary hearing, I'm fine to do that, General. Once the state.
Yeah, we set the others for August 14th. We'd like to keep all this together and set that date if possible.
Okay. Mr. Drummond, I'm going to continue your case to August the 14th, sir, at 9 a.m. Mr. Huffman will be in contact with you prior to that to go over your case. And he will be able to hopefully answer any questions that he has for you, sir, okay? Or that you have for him. I apologize. We will see you back here then, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. As long as it's not related to the facts of your case or anything that could infringe on your Fifth Amendment rights, I'm fine with that, sir.
I'm just wondering, is that the time I need to ask her for the speedy trial, or how's that work?
Well, now that I've appointed you counsel, any motions that will be filed will go through your attorney, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, folks. The case is continued to August 4th.
Oh, do you think he's smart enough? Because look, judge had to be careful answering that question. The judge had to be very careful answering that question, even if it's a simple, huh? Judge had to be very careful. I wonder, do you think he's that smart? Do you think he was trying to throw a little curveball in there, and then if something happens, he could go back to this point right here and then have everything tossed out, right? Very crafty. But the judge, I wonder if he was trying to, he probably should have asked a different question, but you couldn't understand the question. Okay, so he was asking, well, the closed captioning was up there. He was asking if he need, hold on, if he needed to have somebody kind of like start the process of getting everything going here. And so what happened was in the beginning of this, the judge had said Brian Huffman. He had already contacted Brian Huffman about possibly representing him. And so because he didn't have any money, which I'm surprised. Like his parents aren't trying to pay for that. But, you know, maybe they're at that point where it's like, okay, yeah, we've already done it. Helped all we can. Because, I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of defense you have. It's not really, I mean, it's pretty obvious what took place, you know. It's pretty, it's extreme, you know, it's extreme. So it's, the only thing a defense attorney is going to be able to do is just get you a little bit more comfort or something, if that. I mean, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. You're probably going to get the DP. I'm just being honest with you. I don't see how dropping the baby off at a doorstep is going to get you off a DP. I don't. That, yeah, they're on the book for that $30K too. Yeah. So that's probably where they're having to come up with the money he would have got for an attorney. But basically, he was saying that Brian Huffman is appointed to be his attorney. That's going to handle that. So any question that he had, that's why he said, you know, as long as it doesn't have to do with, you know, the facts and all this other stuff, well, then I can answer it. That's not a problem. And what he did was ask him a legal question. And so that's why I'm wondering, do you guys think he was smart enough to throw that legal question out there, and then maybe later on when he's convicted and has the DP on him and he can go, well, way back at this court hearing, you know, it's like fruit from the poisonous tree kind of thing. Like, way back then, this happened, and now I'm going to use it. Is there any known? There has to be, whatever, Clever. There has to be. Now, I don't know about DNA, like, well, not DNA, but I don't know about blood. But I would imagine the first, maybe not the others, but I would imagine the first person that he did that to, there would have been some blowback on him. Because I don't see him stand, you know, having every single one of them and he's standing 20 yards back or something. You know, I don't see that. What I see is him kind of being right up close And that's one thing we're going to find out when this goes to trial is what actually happened, the timeline, how it went down. And I see, you know, because he probably had to have all of them right in front of him in close proximity. I see him, the first person that he takes out, I see blowback getting on him, maybe the second, but I think that I would assume that the other ones started to run. But we'll find out for sure how everything went down with that. Give me 1 second, you guys. My camera's shut off. So let me pull this back up. I'll be right back in a second. We'll finish this part here. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Let me pull this back up if it will allow me. It sure would be nice to not have to deal with any of this stuff. All right, so let's go to... All right, so we'll skip ahead to the part that we were going to, and then we'll finish this one up. And thank you for being here. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It is the free way to help. And also, if you're just checking out the show and you're not subscribed, please consider doing so, because alarmingly, like 68% of the people that watch are not subscribed. I was like, what?
We are going to also take up.
All right, so that is suspect Austin Drummond in the abandoned baby family murders case that we've been following. There was that weeks-long manhunt. He's appeared in court, that first appearance. No bond granted, because now we hear from prosecutors that they're seeking the death penalty. And right after the hearing, Lake County District Attorney Danny Goodman spoke with reporters. Let's watch.
Mr. Goodman, first kind of just an overview for this morning's hearing. You also stated that the state does plan to pursue the death penalty in this case?
Yes, at this time we do.
What kind of is all the decision making that goes behind deciding to pursue charges that's severe?
Well, there are aggravating factors in Tennessee. We have to look at those statutory factors, and I think that he does meet the ones that we have to have, so we're going to seek the death penalty.
And then are you obviously satisfied with the judge's decision to revoke the bond?
He didn't actually revoke the bond. That's a petition that we have filed to be heard in circuit court, and that will be done later this month. But he's actually just holding him without bond.
Gotcha.
And that was the state's request.
So that August 14th date, is that going to be the bond hearing to decide whether or not it gets revoked?
No. The August 14th date is here in the general sessions. The petition we have filed is in circuit court for the revocation.
Gotcha. How complicated can this case become, knowing this is now multiple jurisdictions involved? I mean, and then multiple agencies involved too.
Yeah, it is going to be more complicated because of that. Fortunately, I am district attorney for 2 of the counties that it occurred in, so that's going to leave just one other county with District Attorney Jody Pickens. He and I've already talked, and we're going to work together with those.
Yeah, that's the same guy that didn't want him released in the first place. I don't know what is going on with the audio in Memphis, man. It don't matter what news crew or who is recording this stuff. All of this audio is just wild. I've never heard audio like this before. This bad from everybody? It's wild.
All right, here to discuss, I want to welcome my guest for this hour. Joining us from Los Angeles, California, we have criminal defense attorney Danny Rubin. Danny, nice to see you. So how does the death penalty now on the table change trial prep for this one?
I mean, this is the most serious penalty you can have. So, I mean, it's gonna impact everything from how they look at bond to how they prep for the case. I mean, essentially, you're looking at the possibility of, if you lose, your client is going to be put to death. This is the most stressful case you can take on. The evidence is going to be looked at thoroughly, and I think also the defense attorney will be looking at whether or not there are any plea agreements on the table to avoid the death penalty.
Yeah, like we've seen in a number of high-profile cases as of late, but that might be closer to trial. So as we are gearing for trial, he now has canceled, so we expect not to hear from him much. Today, he was declared indigent when he was, asked question of his finances by the judge, Judge Cook. Talk to me about being assigned a case and what that will entail for this public defender.
So when a public defender is assigned a case, generally the public defender is going to be working on that case for a case that's like this, like a death penalty case. In calendar courtrooms where many cases get assigned for misdemeanors, small felonies, you might have one public defender or several as people change in and out the courtroom. But in this case, generally for a more serious felony, you'll have one lawyer. That lawyer will be assigned death penalty cases or other capital cases. And that lawyer will work with the defendant for the duration of his case. And like I said before, that lawyer will likely hit the ground running because if the death penalty is being sought, you're going to want to figure out what, if any, evidence supports the prosecution's claims and what, if any, defenses you actually have.
Yeah, Danny, this is going to be a case that is going to continue to dominate the headlines as it has.
Aren't exposed to the things we're
Whoa,
seeing
whoa,
on a daily
whoa,
basis.
whoa, 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 whoa. And that is a good question. And whatever Clever brings up a good question too. You know, what exact evidence do they have when it comes to, him committing this crime? Now, I'm assuming that there's got to be some kind of blood on the clothes. It's kind of like I said in the beginning. It's like I can see a friend, like tampering with evidence. He comes back, he's got blood on his clothes. He changes his clothes. The friend gives him a change of clothes. He lets him take a shower. And then goes and ditches the bloody clothes. But if anything, I mean, you got the firearm and you have the rounds that you can test. And when you have the gun and you have the rounds, you can tie him to the crime from the ballistics. So it's going to be pretty, I mean, good luck trying to try to get the DP off. I honestly don't see how, I don't see how they're going to accept any plea deal that doesn't have the DP on it. I mean, I don't know. What would be the argument for him not to have the DP? I don't know. I don't know of one. The lawyer could say, that kind of like with what that other guy was saying a couple days ago. He found out his girlfriend was cheating on him and it sent him in a rage. Oh, this happened, or he's mentally unstable, or, whatever. But none of that is going to take the DP off. I mean, the only thing that would be the mental instability. But when you're looking at him right there, and he's sitting in court, you see the interactions. He had a question. He was focused. So you're able to stand trial. I don't see them taking a plea deal that doesn't include the death penalty. Now, what he may be able to get in that plea deal, I don't know. Or what kind of comfort or something like that. I don't know. But this is what I'm thinking. Whatever, Clever, they got to have the ballistics, the bullets and the weapon. That already, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even, I don't know. Is that what do you think? Do you think that, I think that they're going to have the evidence I think they're going to have the evidence to really convict him, because when you're looking at how this dude chose other than me giving him props for picking the pool house, because that's the only kind of props that I'm going to give him. Everything else besides that was just, it was all checkers. Here's the difference, and we'll be talking Koberger here, I think tomorrow morning. Here's the difference with Koberger and him. Koberger actually, it's why I said, for the last couple of years that especially with these documents that are coming out, even before those came out, I said, we're never gonna have the definitive evidence that shows Brian Koberger committed the crime. Why? Because he knew how to clean up after his tracks. They couldn't. They didn't have the cast data. They didn't have the victim's blood or any of that in his vehicle. They didn't have any of his items that tied him outside of the house. They didn't have any of those items that tied him to the crime. The only thing was the sheath. And so that's why I was saying that the prosecution only had the tip. They only had the tip of the DNA from the FBI, and that was it. And they were just going to use that to try and convict him. Brian Koberger was at least cleaning up his digital forensics, making sure that, making sure that he didn't leave any of his actual physical blood at the crime scene, how he didn't have any of the victim's blood in association with him anywhere. And so there was a lot of, dang, dude, I don't even know if I could do that, I don't even know if I could not have victim's blood in my car if I did, So he did a lot of things that was this dude, almost to a perfection, knew what he was doing, because if he didn't leave that sheath, I honestly feel that they wouldn't have caught him. They wouldn't have even known who he was. They wouldn't have known nothing. It would have been a cold case. I really feel that way. And so, and you're right. I never thought he would take the plea deal either. I mean, because we started covering this case, I went out to Moscow, boots on the ground from 11/8/2023 to 11/15/2023, was there for the University of Idaho 1-year vigil. I was there talking to a lot of the communities, both from Pullman and Moscow. I did a lot of investigating. I did a lot of work. I got a lot of film up there too. And so that whole time I was the one questioning all this freaking evidence, because like I said, from back then, there was nothing like this. All this stuff was just narrative. And so, yeah, it threw me for a loop too, when he pleaded, no appeal, no parole, and just the DP take it off. So it was shocking too. Trust me, it threw me for a loop. As well. And they got to have right, Sammy, they're going to have the ballistics. So there's going to be, I don't think that he's like Koberger where he cleaned up and was able to clean up stuff. There's going to be so many breadcrumbs that lead back to him committing this crime. I just don't see how he's even going to have a chance. But that's the beautiful thing about the justice system. We don't know, and I'm sure this is going to go to trial. And if it doesn't, hopefully they know how everything went down and they're able to let these families know, because we see it too many times where these families don't get any answers. And I never use the word closure, because there never is closure with these kind of things. You're just moving to the next step above when it comes to the grieving process. There's never closure. You're never going to get to that doorway. It's a constant, existence of climbing to the next step and climbing to the next step and climbing to the next step. And those answers help the families not get closure, but at least get a little bit closer in that grieving process. All right, we're going to have another show on this. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or the next day, but we're going to be back. I'm going to be playing you more interviews with the people that witnessed him. And then also on that next show, we're going to dig into that video that I showed you guys earlier. So if you haven't seen it yet, please do, because dig into it yourself. I'm going to be using the zoomed in versions that I made for this this specific video right here. And so, that was from another case. I Am Too Bear. The video went to the next thing that was on my playlist. But we're going to be digging into this video on the next show. So we're going to be playing the newer interviews, whatever else comes out. I'm sure there's going to be more documents that are going to come out, going to kind of tell us a little more about what's going on. And I'm wondering if his friends are going to be snitching like crazy, because, you know, he was already a snitch in the first place. It's just wild. But we are going to be digging into this video too. So if you haven't seen it yet, or you want to watch it again, make sure you leave a comment in there. Put a timestamp of a time if you think you see something. Also, we'll be going into the zoomed in versions full screen when we get into that. And let me know what you think, and then bring that to the table when we talk about this case on the next show and we get into this. So there's the link for that. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to get ready for the show that we have coming up here at 7:45/8 o'clock Central here in about an hour. Here's the link for that one. Come back and hang out with us if you would like. This is going to be something where we're going to be having to dig in together, you guys, because this is a case right here. It says it all right here. No foul play, but found passed away. Heard screaming, reports of screaming, witnesses called about screaming. Boyfriend shows up the next day, quote, finds his girlfriend, the love of his life, laying there deceased on the boat. And police are saying no foul play. I say no way. That's a bunch of BS. We're going to get into it. We're going to bring justice for Martha. It just happened a couple days ago. Nobody's really talking about it. We need to share this out and get attention and justice for Martha. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you very much. We'll see you in a little bit. And if I don't see you in a little bit tonight, we will see you tomorrow. Have a peaceful and positive day. Love you guys.
Said possible Sheridan and Wilson. First standby. 10-4.